Both cars coming up in the stage now, just being rolled forward. You'll see their lights coming to the 33 Willys and the 37 Chevrolet. Right lane's stage lights are on. Pre-stage both. Both cars rolling up in a full stage now. Here we go. The tree will go. And off we go. Red light, unfortunately, for lane 2. The little Willies, but I tell you what, he's getting a bit of a slalom down that course too. Goes through nicely. Good pass, both cars. Goes through with gusto at a 10.39 at 118 mile an hour and 11.4 at 111 mile an hour. Chute comes out, drops the washing out, flares up nicely. Just a little bit of weed killer on the track there just to keep the sticky into it. The boys have been fantastic with what they're doing, just keeping an eye on the track all day. Just a little bit more compound on the track there for it, just making things look really good. Keeping the maintenance up to the track has been fantastic this weekend. They've not missed a beat. Oh, look at this beautiful two-door Chevrolet just rolled into lane 1. A couple of beauties. Long, beautiful shaped cars. Looks like a bubble top in lane 2. Just watching both cars now set themselves up in the stage. A little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump there for the black Chevrolet in lane 1. Nice big white Chevrolet in lane 2. Just edging forward into his lights now. Can we have Hot Rod 2 into lanes 1 and 2, please? Hot Rod 2 into lanes 1 and 2. Thank you. We've got a lot of them in there already. So Hot Rod 2 into lanes 1 and 2 as we watch these two Chevrolets launch. Looking there, an 0.56 against a 3.85 for lane 1. And I'll tell you what, he's growing legs too and scooting through the other end on a 9.80 at 135 mile an hour and a 10.9 at 120 mile an hour. We've got another Chevrolet in lane 1, and this little front engine drags has just performed his burnout, getting the heat in the tyres. It's a new one, performing a burnout with your door open. And he's away too. Nice launch there. Unfortunately, red light, but a good straight launch. Growing legs. Look at this little thing go. Wow. 157 mile an hour on an 840. Oh, we just had a car just do a little bit of a sideways burnout. He's got himself nice and straight again. I think it might have been one tyre wet, one tyre dry. Both cars settling themselves down now, both in pre-stage. Looking at the lights to see when the second bulbs come on. There we go, full stage. Coming down the tree. Both got a green, a clean green. An 0.26 against a 1.21. So the 0.26 for the red car in lane 2, red Chevrolet. And he crosses the line there, ladies and gentlemen, an 11.06 at 119 mile an hour and a 14.3, 95 miles an hour. Plymouth, the Chevrolet Nova station wagon now, when we're running up against a beautiful Chevy, about a 63, maybe 64 Chevrolet in lane 2. The little Nova wagon in lane 1. Got a problem with the Nova, but the Chevrolet leaves nicely on a 171 reaction and runs through at the other end on 1179 at 116. Final call, please. Final call for Hot Rod 2, please. Lanes 1 and 2. Final call for Hot Rod 2, lanes 1 and 2, please. Another couple of Chevrolets out there. It looks like it might be a Pontiac out there in lanes 2. Nice cars too. Look, they're just so close and looks. Body shape, very, very similar. How they just kept changing body shapes just to give them character in the 60s was absolutely stunning. The designers in the 60 had flair, and they showed it, that's for sure. Both cars running through a 13.6 at 99 miles an hour and a 12.86 for lane 1 at 102 mile an hour. El Camino and Chevrolet in lane 1 and lane 2. The Camino in lane 1, good-looking car. The Tony and Deb Saunders from home. You would love to see this car. Both cars lining up now. Gorgeous looking car, the Camino. Not a very, we don't see a lot of those in Australia. Our friends of mine do have one, and it's in immaculate condition. But I love the way they've just cut the back off and given it a slope. It looks fantastic. The El Camino utility, El Camino pickup. Nice launch on both cars. Unfortunately, red light in lane 2, but still runs across the line at 129 miles an hour. And 112.1 at 108 miles an hour for lane 1. 2 more Chevrolets popping up onto the track here. Just settling themselves down at the moment. Can we have muscle car to lanes 3 and 4, please? Muscle cars to lanes 3 and 4, please. Muscle cars, lanes 3 and 4, please. Lanes 3 and 4, please. Muscle cars into lanes 3 and 4, please. Both cars getting down the other end. 12.9 at 74 mile an hour and 11.6 at 76 mile an hour for lane 1. Couple of more Chevrolets. These cars are popping out of the cupboards everywhere. These into the 60s. They look fantastic. There's another one rolling in and another one rolling in. Gorgeous looking cars. Oh, look at this, getting a lot of heat in the tyres as we look down the strip and see an 11.61 in lane 1 at 114 mile an hour and a 14.22 at 92 miles an hour in lane 2. 14.22 at 92 in lane 2. Couple of nice little rods running down the strip at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. And looking down there in lane 2, we've got 11.6 at 112 mile an hour and 11.73 at 109 miles an hour in lane 1. A couple of more nice little 32 yellow. The John Milner Special in lane 2. And the little truck, gorgeous looking little truck in lane 1. This little truck's got a fair bit of jump and go on. I love the retro paint style on this car. Oh, a bit of a launch towards the tree there, but straightened it up very quickly. And the truck gets away nicely. He's on a 1:28 reaction time, whereas a good reaction of 4:91 for the yellow Milner Special. And both cars run through nicely. A 98 mile an hour pass at 14.2 and 122 mile an hour pass for the truck in lane 1 at a 10.83. Next pairing, ladies and gentlemen, a little open top roadster against a nice little coupe. Little 34 coupe. That's Keith Miller out of Columbus, Ohio. Canton, Ohio, with Gary Ewing out of Ohio also in the little roadster, 29 roadster, and he runs through on a 10.3 at 131 mile an hour against a 10.09 at 121 mile an hour. Steve Heathman coming up now in this beautiful truck. He's out of Canal, Ohio, and Butler, Pennsylvania in the 33 Willies. We have Dave Bowen. Muscle cars 3 and 4, please. Muscle cars into 3 and 4, please. Muscle cars 3 and 4, please. Muscle cars 3 and 4, please. Muscle cars into lanes 3 and 4. Thank you, drivers. Both cars settling themselves down now into the starting line. Tree goes, double greens. Oh, good launch from the little Willies. He gets one, a 4.17 against, 0021. Good light. The old 002 light. Everyone's very happy with that. Goes through on an 117 mile an hour on a 9.9 in lane 2. And lane 1 comes through on a 12.11 at 110 mile an hour. Oh, the Willie's getting a little bit skew. If they kept the wheel spinning, got it nice and straight now. Finally found a little bit of grip about 200 feet, 150 feet out. Go short 134 mile an hour in lane 1 and 119 miles an hour in lane 2. James Madeira in that Willie's. Next pairing is Chuck Woodring and Russ Miller. Russ Miller in the Plymouth, 40 model Pontiac and 37 Chevrolet is Chuck Woodring. Nice launch there for Chuck. Unfortunately, a red Like the car zips out nicely in that little 40 Pontiac. Beautiful car. Russ Miller's, the shine on that car is absolutely stunning. Next pairing is Tommy Glick out there and Harmony Glick. Harmony in the little 33 Willies up against the 48 Angria. The little Ford Anglia in lane one. Love the paint job on both these cars. They are really retro style and love the lines through the body from front to back in the Anglia. Tom Glick and Harmony Glick. They're out of Ohio, Lima and Alita, Ohio. Just sending one of the maintenance vehicles down there to have a quick look, ladies and gentlemen. We will be up live streaming very soon. We're just having a little bit of trouble with some of the links and everything. We're up. Okay. We are on CKIW Radio 76 out of Detroit, ladies and gentlemen. Coming live through CKIW Radio 76 here with John Sava and Sue Martin. Thank you very much to them for the setup. We're getting ready, and actually, once I can get the link going, we'll be right. Right, Wanda Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. She is down there. She'll be running up against Daryl McDonald. Looks like a bit of a problem. Might be having a solo pass here. She's out of Bear Lake in Pennsylvania. That's a beautiful 1939 Plymouth Coupe. Wanda Johnson. She was back-to-back champion here last year. Won on the Friday and on the Saturday too. Wanda gets away nicely, ladies and gentlemen, on 0.28. On 0.28. She goes through at 138 mile an hour on 9.47. Right, this might be Daryl McDonald coming in now. Daryl in the little 37 olds. Beautiful little flared retro style paint job on it. Nice. Looks like a big bowler hat from the rear there with the beautiful black round backside on the car and the roof, and the nice retro style flames on the top of the car. It's Daryl McDonald, Nick Plewinick. He's out of Lockpier in New York, running a 33 Dodge pickup. Now, this thing is a bullet. Watch on the launch of this car, ladies and gentlemen. It really gets up and boogies. Nicky Plewick gets away and a little bit slow on the reaction time there, but look at that. Daryl McDonald finally gets the kick hard and runs down there on a 98 at 132 and a 10-4 at 73 mile an hour for Nick Plewick. Next car coming through, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a 1941 Willys. Just rolling up nicely at the moment. There's little Willys into lane one. Gorgeous looking car, really burnt sienna, burnt orange type of colour. Suits the era for the car. Nice straight launch, straight down the centre of his lanes there, ladies and gentlemen. Red light, unfortunate. Just have to sort that out, but it doesn't mean he's not having a go too if you red light, that's for sure. Look at this, a 10-1 at 131 miles an hour. So beautiful looking car here. The grounds look fantastic. Great to see the crowd starting to build up. Give us a wave over here. We are live on CKIW Radio 76 out of Detroit, ladies and gentlemen. So you are on candid camera. So give us a wave towards the tower. And we'll tell your parents that you're sitting in the crowd here. You're not down there being a naughty kid stealing hubcaps.
Okay, so there you go. So all your friends have to do is press that, and it takes you automatically. It's convoluted, but it's a weird day today.
Who like watching it no matter where it is, when it is, and how it is. And Anthony, Kylie J. Rochella, Beverly Ackland, and Wayne Ackland up there in Queensland. Happy birthday the other day. I hope you had a great day. Speaking of happy birthdays, it was Wanda Johnson's birthday just the other day, and she turned 29 again. So happy birthday to Wanda Johnson. Good on you, sweetie. She's from Bear Lake in Pennsylvania, driving tickled pink. So if you see Wanda rolling around in the car, just go give her a wave, blow her a kiss for her birthday the other day. 29 again she was. And to our friends in Australia, to my good mate Mark Humphrey, who is currently on his way to Darwin for the top end challenge, and then they'll go and do the Red Centre and everything. He's with Drag Racing Central. If you ever want to watch drag racing in Australia, just go to Facebook, have a look at Drag Race Central over there, and you will see and hear me occasionally when I'm there, when I'm not here. But Drag Racing Central, you'll hear the boys. He'll be up in Darwin. There'll be a bit of commentary up there from the boys in Darwin. But when you get down to Alice Springs and next weekend, in 2 weekends' time, you'll hear Josh Graveling, good mate of mine over there, who'll be the commentator with Sean McCabe out of Alice Springs, and that'll be the Red Centre Nationals. That is a great event. It's a lot of fun, always seeing good friends and people there. But at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We've got a bit of track maintenance going 42 to the Rock and Race. So those just tuning into our link through CKIW Radio 76 out of Detroit, welcome to Dragway 42. Welcome to the Rock and Race. We had a great day's racing here yesterday. And one thing I must say, and I'm going to give this thanks worldwide to our drivers here, to all the drivers who are out in our lanes here, thank you for your cooperation. And when we've asked you to jump, you've immediately said how high, and it's been brilliant. Got down into the lanes when asked in an orderly fashion. It's just been fantastic. We've been able to keep the meeting running. And last night, not a lot of incidents, so we were very good. The racing was very good last night. We finished at 10 past 11 when the jet truck went through. And they had a little bit of a trouble starting it, but getting up to it and everything like that. But our racing, we started the jet truck at 10 to 11. He finished his run just after 11, everything like that. And we were booked to go out at 11 o'clock last night. The bands kept playing. Festus kept playing till 2 o'clock this morning. And it was a fantastic effort there. The bands will start playing very, very soon, ladies and gentlemen. On 1 o'clock this afternoon, we'll have the Ted Reiser Band. So we've still got a couple of hours to go. Ted Reiser Band, it'll go till 3 o'clock. Then the JJ Vickers will come out. Then at 4 o'clock, you'll have Aaron Jones and the Cool Cats. The Low Live Drifters at 6:30. Dirty Deeds at 8 o'clock. And Shame at 10. So we'll have the jet truck out a little bit later this evening too. He will do the final run. Plus, we will have Larry Dixon out here with his twin-seater fuel car. Larry was out here yesterday, did a couple of passes yesterday. 231 miles an hour and a 200 mile an hour pass also, rose up on the tyres. So wisely backs it out, then kicks it hard again. So it was a great run there by Larry Dixon. Now coming down into a race rolling in. It looks like we've got our Hot Rod 2 cars coming down out of lanes 1 and 2. We'll have Hot Rod 2 in lanes 3 and 4. Thank you. Muscle car, sorry, into 3 and 4. Hot Rod 6, Hot Rod 1 were out in 6. They've done well. Hot Rod 2 are coming out of 1 and 2, and Muscle Car coming out of 3 and 4. Look at this, lanes full of beautiful cars, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this, Australia. Look at all the classics rolling down here, something that we don't see all the time. We see a few of these, but just about every car here is a classic. I'm looking down there at Pontiacs. I'm looking at Pontiacs. I'm looking at Plymouths. I'm looking at Dodges. I'm looking at Chevrolets. My favourite cars, Camaros and Firebirds. And one of my favourite all-time cars now is the Chevelle. Getting down onto the track, ladies and gentlemen, we've got ourselves a 56 Chevrolet down there, and it looks like it might be a Mercury, a Lincoln or a Mercury down there. No, it's a Mercury. This is a really, really prestigious car, ladies and gentlemen. You expect to see Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin get out of this car. Gorgeous looking machines, and look, there we go, red light in lane 1, a big launch for him, gets a little bit of a sway out to the left, but the big Mercury goes down there. A lot of car there, running a lot of weight in that car. The Chevrolet goes through on a 10.4 at 125 mile an hour and a 14.2 at 97 mile an hour. Hello to some friends of mine who are over in Campot. Julie, hope you're having a great time over there, sweetie, and enjoying life. That's Campot in Thailand, ladies and gentlemen. Got friends watching it all around the world. We've got Paul and Deanne Stephen out of Santa Pod. Our Australians are over there running a supercharged Outlaw. Blew a head gasket out, took a chunk of the head out yesterday. Unfortunate for Paul, but I'm sure he'll find a head. Adele McDonald out of Ireland. She'll be looking around too, running junior drags as we get Arnie Brewer going out there in lane 1. Now, Arnie's gone through on a 101 reaction and gets down to the other end quite quickly on a 10.11 at 130 mile an hour and a 13.9 at 92 mile an hour. Oh, look at this. This is a highly modified little Pontiac, this one. Looks like it could be a Laurentian or maybe a Le Mans, not too sure. But the body has been modified severely with this little car. It is a Pontiac. Rolling into lane 2, I think we've got ourselves another Pontiac rolling up. There are so many different shapes and sizes of these cars down here. Now, there's a Pontiac. I know that one, the red one rolling into the lanes. I know that's a Pontiac because it's got Pontiac written on it. But there are some stunning-looking cars here, ladies and gentlemen. I said the Bergman boys and Pete Costa and all the fellas out of the Billy Hondras, all those boys who are running out of South Australia with their Mopars. Bergman Brothers Racing. Mate, boys, this is the place you want to come and have a look at. Dragway 42 when running the Rock and Race. Just looking down on the start line here for this Pontiac. This is a goer, this car. Unfortunately for everyone around the world, you'll be up in the corner of our broadcast. So, g'day everyone. The only thing I don't like about it, if I want to have a pick on the snorer. Oh, look at that. Gets himself a little bit out of shape, pulls it back in, but look at the lines on the track there, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see them. They veer out towards the centre. He straightened it up and the good bit of driving there, pulled it back straight, but just idles it on through the line there, just really with a nothing pass. It was a 12.90 with a 49 mile an hour, but he backed out even before he got to about 100 yards out on the track. 100 yards for you Australians is 100, a little bit more, a little less than 100 metres. They still run in feet and inches over here in gallons and mile an hour, which we do in Australia, run on miles an hour in our drag racing because that's a traditional way to do it. A couple of Pontiacs out here looking nice as we're getting down there. They're getting themselves nice and straight in line. A little Chevrolet Nova station wagon following in. Both cars looking down at the strip there. Pre-stage coming on for lane 1. Pre-stage for lane 2. About to pop in. Yes, there we go. Full stage, lane 2. Full stage now, lane 1. Trees away. Nice launch, one Pontiac, and the red Pontiac in lane 1. But look at this one in lane 1. I tell you what, he's growing legs. And that's a nice pass. He goes short of 94 at 139 miles an hour and a 10.7 at 129 mile an hour too. So hello to a few friends of mine, Mark Coon and Joyce Group over there in South Australia. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. I know you're probably in bed asleep like most of the Australians are at the moment because you're 14 hours in front, which will take you out to about 1 o'clock Sunday morning. No, you're probably still up partying. Steve Wagner, thanks for calling in yesterday, mate. It was nice to see your name pop up and have a bit of a chat with you, Wags, and Jody and Mr. T. Nice launch there from both cars. Just looking there, a 1.5 on the 60-footer, a red light there for lane 2. Lane 1, an 0.35, great reaction. Crosses over on a 10.40 at 128 and a 10.9 at 119. Next pairing coming up. Got the nice little Plymouth down there in lane 1 and lane 2. We've got the Chevrolet. No, they're not Plymouths. There are a couple of nice Dodges rolling in, very similar in the shape to the Plymouth body. Still, Plymouth and Dodge pretty much came out of the same garage, didn't they? Here we go. Both cars getting ready. Oh, wheels up on the Chevrolet Nomad in lane 2. Does it nicely too. Gets yourself nice and straight. Wheels up, red light, unfortunate. Both cars are going through nicely. The lane 2 goes short, 122 mile an hour at 10.70 and a 13.2 at 99 miles an hour for lane 2. Next pairing, ladies and gentlemen, the 1955 Chevrolet there in a Dodge. The Dodge gets a nice shot out there off the line there on a 111 reaction time and a 6.48 reaction for the Chevrolet. Dodge runs through nicely, goes through there on an 11.06 at 117 and a 12.4 at 107 mile an hour. And look at this, Australia, we have red frogs. Got the red frogs still over here. I bought them over, bought bags full over. There's a lot of Australian flags flying around here too, ladies and gentlemen, because I bought them with us. Oh, a couple of Henry J's, ladies and gentlemen. Unusual looking little cars, these Henry J's, but great drag cars. Short wheelbase, not a lot in the wheel width, but usually running quite well now. A little Henry J in lane 1 run by Dean Harris. He's out of Cleveland, having Uniontown, Ohio. Runs a 10.90 at 120 mile an hour and 13.9 at 96 miles an hour in lane 2. Both cars nice. Oh, the vet gets the wheels up nice. A little compact fair lane beside it. David Alexander in the fair lane. Unfortunately, red light, but an 0.3 on the reaction there for the little Corvette. Does it beautifully. He runs across the other end there at a 9.82 at 134 mile an hour and an 11.9 at 110 for the Galaxy. Rowan Hudson, if you're watching, mate, here's your sister car. This 1955 Chevrolet, black Chevrolet. It looks really nice too, and I'll show you a picture when I get home, mate. There is a picture of your identical twin car on the Hall of Fame and Wall of Fame in at the 501 Perfect Converters, one of our great sponsors here this weekend. So, Rowan, your car has a picture, or the absolutely, it must be the evil twin to your car on the picture wall in 501 Converters, one of our major sponsors here. Nice launch there, 0016 and a 0061 for both cars. Getting away nicely there and going across the line at a 9.30 at 105 mile an hour and 11.03 at 119 miles an hour for both cars. We had a nice little Willys here. This car's been chopped down beautifully. Got a big wing out the back and he'll be running through. This looks like Todd Wilt. Yeah, he's out of Akron, Ohio, running a 41 Willys. Just watching this car go through its burnout, it really jumped and jived in this little hot rod. So we'll see how he goes. Here we go. The tree. Nice. Buries the bum nicely. Oh, something doesn't want to play the game. So immediately he's pulled over to the wall. Yeah, he's pulled over to the wall, as been asked. So the boys are going down there just to follow him down and see what's happened. The car's still rolling, I think. No, it's come to a stop now. So the boys are going down there with maintenance vehicles to tow him off. Just moving very slowly, not even at walking pace at the moment, but he's probably looking around to see what's going on. But he's done exactly what we asked, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as you have a problem with the car, get off the running line and go over to the wall. So he's done exactly what I asked.
Hey, folks, just really quick while we have a second, and it's nice and quiet as we tow the wounded Willies off with Todd Wilt. Just want to let everybody know, I was just talking to the folks from Bad Boy Mowers. Look at the big dogs over there on the Ed Tomko, the right side of the track. You'll see those big dogs over there. They have a show special this weekend. They have 2 tractors left on the show special. They've been out there selling stuff, as well as they have T-shirts and giveaways. Just stop by the booth. They have stuff to give away. Very, very good people enjoying this. They provide the mowers here at Dragway 42, and you can look out and see the golf course precision that the hills are mowed in. This is why this track is beautiful. The folks from Bad Boy Mowers do a fantastic job. So we do have the Willies removed from the racing surface. We're going to do a little quick bit of touch-up on the starting line. Gas crunch. Gas crunch. We will take you to 1 and 2. Gas crunch. Lanes 1 and 2 at this time, please. As soon as we get the touch-up going, folks, what you're going to be watching going down the racetrack will be the largest class here this weekend, and that is the muscle car class. Really the basis, one of the basis, but between this and our gasser classes, the basis for the Rockin' Race. So again, thank you for coming here and spending your day here at Dragway 42, spending it with us. Make sure you check out all of our food vendors. If you're getting hungry, it's about lunchtime. Again, all of our other vendors, again, like I said, Bad Boy Mowers, they have giveaways, they have T-shirts. Stop over there, talk to them, check out their machinery, see what they got on sale. Again, the food vendors, other folks out here peddling their wares, swap meet, show area, all sorts of things to see here, and lots and lots and lots of drag racing here at Dragway 42. Thank you for watching and listening on CKIW 76 out of Detroit, Motor City. Detroit Rock City, as Kiss said. We now get ready to go into our muscle car time trial. And again, gas crunch. Gas crunch. Those of you mid to late 70s, we go up to 79 here. I've got a 79 Aspen wagon at home awaiting the, I don't know, my time, which I don't have a lot of. Gas crunch, we need you to 1 and 2. Gas crunch to 1 and 2. Pontiac Firebird coming up on the summit side of the racetrack, the left side. Firebird getting ready to move up to run against the Chevy pickup truck, the paint challenged ride here on the Ed Tomko side. Truck with the better reaction time, and look at that big blue beast roll down the racetrack. Sounded like she had a little trouble once she hit third gear. 1302 at 101 miles an hour, 1402, 97 for the Firebird. Bill Fogel, 68 Plymouth, rolling up here on the Tomko side of the racetrack. Good-looking Chevelle wheelie bars tucked up under there. Summit side. So again, Steve Obertanic in the Gremlin. 11:30, 84 miles an hour. Steve's more of an eighth mile guy, to be honest with you at this point. So I'm going to hand you back down. And again, we've called Gas Crunch. Gas Crunch. You should be in 1 and 2. Gas Crunch to 1 and 2.
Thanks, mate. So Gas Crunch down into 1 and 2, please. Gas Crunch 1 and 2, please. Gas Crunch down into 1 and 2, please. Big thanks to Ronnie, our meeting director, doing a fantastic job keeping them rolling. And big thanks to Don Moyer too. This promotion he's put on this is just absolutely second to none with it. It comes to nostalgia racing throughout Australia, the world, etc. Right, look at these beautiful cars, ladies and gentlemen. These muscle cars, pardon me for getting off here a little bit then. Just attending to a couple of text messages coming through from our friends right around the world, and a text message from my beautiful Claire, who's over here with me at this meeting. Claire, my gorgeous partner, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, she's stunning. For those who know Claire, they will know exactly what I mean. We've had some great time over here. I've introduced her to my American families, the Kennedys and the Costics, and all we have done this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, is laugh. I'll tell you what, that's all we've done. We're going to go to San Diego very, very soon to see some family, Claire's family, and I'll tell you what, we'll go over here. We'll have to have our jaws and slings. We've been laughing so much. I love coming here. Right. Enough about me. Let's get back into the racing. Beautiful little Rambler Javelin down there in lane 1, ladies and gentlemen. The AMC Javelin, they were in Australia as Ramblers, and Rambler here for a while, running a 340 V8. Now, this car, I'm not sure what its size engine is, but it's big. And we've got a gorgeous-looking little Javelin going across the line down there. He's running through at 127 mile an hour on a 10.8, and a 12.06 at 110 miles an hour. Looking down there, we've got a nice 68 Chevrolet Camaro. Then we got ourselves a nice little Dodge down here, a Plymouth Duster, I think it may be. I'm not sure, because they changed the shape so dramatically and so much over here. That's one thing I really love about coming over to the States here. When I see these cars, no 2 years really look the same. There is a modification or a change on each body. And I tell you what, the designers from the 50s, 40s, 50s onwards, just had an open slather on these cars with design. They are absolutely stunning to look at. Right, red light out of lane 1. Unfortunately for him, nice 063 reaction for the Camaro in lane 2. That's Timmy Diss out of he's out of Ohio too, running the 67 Camaro, and he's gone through on 11.7 at 113 mile an hour and 102 mile an hour at a 14.01. Right. Kyle Angelone coming out now. He'll be running the 68 Chevrolet. He is in lane 1 up against the Chevelle in lane 2. Lane 1 is the Chevelle. Lane 2 is the little 68 Nova. Both cars get away nicely. Just looking at their reaction times, an 8.59 and a 13.1. Just watching these blokes down on the track are doing a magnificent job. Every time they see something, they flick it off. Love track stuff like that. They're just so on the ball all the time. They see a rock, they flick it off. They have a look on the track, but something that wasn't there after the last pass. If it's something, they clean it up. You know, I love their attitude. Jeff Carruthers coming in now. He's out of Brunswick, Ohio, running the 68 Pontiac in lane 2. Gets away nicely on a 39 and a 27.1 in lane 2. Coming across the line there, we've got a 12.18 at 111 miles an hour and 13.05 in lane 1 at 105 miles an hour. Next pairing, ladies and gentlemen, oh, here it is. This car, look at this car in lane 2, ladies and gentlemen. That is one of the picks of the show, that one. It's a Chevelle. Oh, close to my heart, one of those Chevelles. They're beautiful. And the little Dodge truck, the most ungainly looking drag car you've ever seen. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, going back in nostalgia years ago, the little red wagon, that's exactly what it is down there. A very, very simple little red wagon, the wheel stander. Gets away nicely. The aerodynamics of a brick, but they are a beautiful looking little truck. Now the Malibu gets away beautifully. The Chevelle gets away beautifully on an 051. It runs through at 11.6 and 113 and a 13.0 at 103 mile an hour for little Dodge truck. Right, we've got a nice little El Camino here. It looks like may have dropped something on the track here. We might have to get no, he's straightening himself up. And this Camaro, ladies and gentlemen, coming into lane 2, car 762. Watch this thing launch. If you want to see something like a bullet coming out of a gate, like a bullet out of a barrel, this Chev. Look at that. If you're in lane 2, that'd be lane 1. That'd be a little bit demoralising seeing that thing. 171 mile an hour on an 804. Nearly lost for words, which is strange. 171 miles an hour, 13.8 at 102. An amazing run there, ladies and gentlemen. We here. How do you like this? 0006. 804, 171 mile an hour. Try and beat that Chevrolet. Now look at this Tyler Johnson down here in a beautiful little Chevrolet Malibu in lane 1, up against another Chevrolet Camaro in lane 2. Beautiful day here at Dragway 42. Crowd is starting to build up. A quick hello to Lance Larker, Donna Mee, and our little superstar Alex Mee. Hope you're tuning in and watching. Great to see all our friends out of Australia. Billy Coon, my man, little Billy. Nice launch on the Camaro there. Gets away. Look at this, another 006 almost. It is a 006 identical by Johnny Simon in the Camaro. He's out of Wellington, Ohio. We've got another 666. Another 006 here. 2 cars in a row, same lane. And he runs through. That's amazing. Runs through on a 1051. At 127 mile an hour and a 13.4 at 101 mile an hour for Tyler Johnson. Joey Dennis coming up now. Joe's out in lane 2. He's out of Wellington, Ohio on the 72 Nova. And another Camino out there in lane 1. Another beautiful looking little pickup. Let's see. So it's not the machine. There we go, an 0113 on a reaction. So it wasn't the machine doing it to us, Ronnie. Getting down the track, getting down to the other end there. Look at this, 11.6 on 114 and 11.5 on 117. So we're a little bit off there on times and everything like that, but 3 mile an hour over that distance, that's not bad there. Red light there, so a little bit quick there. But anyway, Joey Dennis takes a nice little win there. Next pairing, we've got that nice little Galaxy. Is that Stevie Paschalchuk out there? Hopefully it is. It's at the Alley Cat. Oh, wheels up for the Pontiac in lane 1. Red light for lane 2, unfortunately, a 150 for lane 1. He goes through there on a 10.06 at 130 and a 9.90 at 133. Ronnie, what's the air like at the moment? Do you know? Do you have any idea what the air density is at the moment?
The air is air conditioned in here. You've been outside. I haven't been outside. You probably know a little bit better than I do. Hey, just really quick, I want to make a quick standby call for our Bad Asphalt Bracket Bash. Bad Asphalt Bracket Bash. This is a standby. We're going to be calling you to the lanes pretty soon for your round 1 elimination. Going to be calling you soon for your round 1 elimination. This is a standby call for our Badass Bracket Bash. Be ready for when we call you, because we are going to start your eliminations a little early. We got a lot of racing to do, and hopefully not too limited a time to get it done in. Wayne Selby, down the road for me in Streetsboro, Ohio, 64 Oldsmobile, good-looking ride. Watching lane 1 drive away from him. The Summit side goes through 997, 131. Selby, 1378, 99 miles an hour. Catherine Chikoski, Tecumseh, Michigan. Folks, understand when I see a 65 Dodge Dart, my dad had one of these when I was a kid, and I have never kind of gotten away from that specific year and body style. Love the thing. She's got Mom's Bomb. It's a car, if you're here, get a look close of it. It's old school lettering. It's got a little bit of a graphic on the side of it. It is so fun. And she has a blast. She drives the heck out of that thing. So let's see how Mom's Bomb does. Catherine, 63 light, 063. 129 on the Ed Tomko side. Rolls through the top end. It's there first, 1081. 125 miles an hour. 1113, 117 for the A-motored Mopar. So I'm going to hand this back to Alan as Megan D. Miller. Megan, part of the Windy Hollow Garage crew, getting ready to take her shot down the racetrack. Windy Hollow Garage. Check them out on YouTube. They have a lot of fun. They do. They do a good job on their Windy Hollow Garage. Go check them out. See them in the pits. They're good people. They love drag racing. She's 38 at the hit, 002 wrong side on the Tomko side. Megan runs through 11-12, 120 miles an hour, 10:36, 128 on the Ed Tomko side. Going to hand this back to Alan. And again, short standby. We're going to call probably about 5 minutes away from calling bad asphalt.
Thanks, Ronnie. Good on you, mate. Yeah, just watching Megan Miller. She's got the Windy Hollow. She's got the 66 Belvedere. It's white, and they call it Betty White because it's a little bit sassy. Now that orange Chevelle going down in lane one, that is another one of the cars I've been keeping an eye on. That is one of the absolutely stunners for this weekend. There's a lot of stunners down there, but that thing absolutely, I reckon that thing would shine on the inside of its tube. Beautiful looking car, goes down there at 100 and, on 1108, 126 mile an hour, and a 1073 at 122 mile an hour for lane two. But just getting back to that beautiful orange Chevelle that went down the track then, ladies and gentlemen, everything on that car shines. Even the dirt in the treads of the tyres shines. Right, looking down here at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, we have got ourselves a Plymouth, and it looks like we might have another Plymouth down there too, I think, or it's could be pretty hard to see from here at the moment, but we will certainly find them. Just big thanks too from Stevie Paschalchuk too, ladies and gentlemen. Steve with the Alley Cat car. We were looking for a starter before. He said he was inundated with people coming over with bits. So that's a great thing about drag racing too. We give a call out for some parts and he had people coming over here. The best news is Stevie now has got his car running. Can we have AA gases, please, into 6, please? AA gas into 6. AA gas into 6, please. AA gas into lane 6, please. AA gas. Can you go to lane 6, please? That is AA gas into lane 6, please. AA gas, lane 6. Thank you. Grab a big handful for your lady, mate. Appreciate it. Good on you. Nice launch there. We're live streaming. Getting back to drag racing, last pair is 1160 in lane 2 at 114, being introduced to new people here all the time. Absolutely love it. 1146 at 116 mile an hour for lane 1. Sorry, neglecting the drag racing for a second. Andy Barron out of Orchard Avenue in Rostover, Pennsylvania, running that 68 Dodge. Right, Johnny Renders, ladies and gentlemen, out there now. Johnny was our winner last night in the he was winner in the gamblers last night, and fantastic effort. Congratulations to Johnny Renders, and I believe that he and the other gentleman split the money, and whatever they did with it is entirely up there. But to all those who went in the gamblers last night, thank you very much. The donation you made towards the children's cancer research at Rainbow Babies Hospital, it was $20 entry. We gave the winner $1,000 and $1,010. So we were in luck there. The amount of money it was raised yesterday by drag racers willing to do another event and throw the money into a charity, that was unbelievable. So thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts, and the bottom of our hearts from the Children's Cancer Research at the Rainbow Babies Hospital. For those who have been affected by cancer, please just keep and tell all your friends, just as you walk past with a handful of change, throw it in a cancer jar. We need to eradicate this disgusting, annoying, horrible disease of cancer. And big thanks to our gamblers' entrance last night with their racing. Look at this thing jumping and jiving around in lane 2. What a gorgeous looking car. Love the paint jobs on these cars. They back of the old school of the two tones with your body color and your roof color difference. G'day to Colin and Ann Griffin. Colin was over here last year with me, ladies and gentlemen. You may remember. He had a bit of a chat on the microphone with us, and he's, whoa, up we go. Look at this. I thought we only had kangaroos in Australia. Oh, getting a little bit out of shape there, puffing a bit of blue out of it. I'd say that might be Phil just puffing out of it. But talk about kangaroo hops. I thought we were the only country in the world that had kangaroos in Australia. Brian Chatoon coming down there in the Chevrolet Camaro up with Bobby Collins in the Pontiac. Bobby's out of Chagrin, Ohio, and Vandergrift in Pennsylvania is Brian Chatoon in the Camaro. Family Ties Pontiac. Good launch, both cars. Red light there for Bobby Collins, unfortunately. A 33.15 reaction there for Brian Chatoon, and Brian goes through at a 6, half track at a 680. Full track, he runs through in a 1070 at 123 mile an hour, and a 12.51 at 105. Getting back, thanks to all the gamblers last night. You are champions, true heroes and true champions coming out and racing. That we had a great big field. It was fantastic. So to all the champions last night, really appreciate it. Double A gas, lane 6, please. Double A gas, lane 6, please. Double A gas, lane 6, please. Next pairing, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a car a little bit skew if on the line there. In lane 2, pointing a little bit on the inside there, straightening himself up nicely. Both cars all sorting themselves out. Full tree already there for lane 1. Lane 2, full tree for him. Here we go. Nice launch. Red light, lane 1. Oh, look at this little Nova. Look at this, puffing out a bit of fuel smoke. Running quite rich as he runs through at a 925 at 111 mile an hour, up against a 1238 at 108 miles an hour. Next pairing is Ronnie Coe. He's got a 68 Chevrolet. Looks like a Camaro. Keith Vanita running a 70 model Duster. Looks like we might have Kizzy Kennedy down here. Look at that, the leopard skin, the zebra skin on the Camaro down there looking fantastic. Now, Keith Vanita goes through there, ladies and gentlemen, a 10.8 at 89 mile an hour and a 9.20 at 145 miles an hour there for Rosie Coe. We have got Kizzy Kennedy down there from Centre Ridge and West Lakes, Ohio. She's running a 70 model Dodge Challenger there. And Brian Farnsworth down there, her man, just putting her in line there. So Kizzy Kennedy, great to see little Kiz down there in the Challenger in lane 2. Wheels up for the Camaro, and look at this. Kizzy kicks it hard. I tell you what, she's growing legs. Go, Kizzy, baby. And she does a beautiful job too. Runs through at 133 mile an hour on a 990, but a 10.8 there at 134 miles an hour there. 3.030 against an 0.45. Not much in reaction time. Brian Farnsworth, how are you, buddy? Tom Lerich now, he's in the 72 Dodge in lane 2. Both cars just coming up now on the stage. There goes the tree. We're away. Tommy Lerich gets away there on an 0.44, a 1.32 for lane 1. But Tommy's still kicking it hard going down the track there, and he'll pass through the traps at 11.40 at 115 miles an hour and a 12.39 at 106. Riley Warner coming out now. He's in the 65 Merc, the middle child. And a nice little Plymouth down there in lane 2. Both cars getting ready. G'day, Brian Farnsworth. How are you? Yes, Brian, I'm talking here. Brian Farnsworth, how are you? Look at this little AMC Gravelin down here with the stars and stripes all over. It looks fantastic. Love the paint job. In lane 1, we've got Riley. He's in a 65 Merc. Just waiting for the computer to trip over. Double A gas, thank you for jumping into lane 6 when asked. Double A gas to lane 6. Thank you, crews and drivers, for jumping in when asked. Oh, nice lift there on the little AMC, and away they go. Both cars getting away. Their good reaction times are 1:58 against a 2:51. And crossing the line there, we run through on a 10.29 and a 10.09. 10.09 and 129 mile an hour for little Gremlin, and 130 mile an hour pass at 10.29. Next pairing, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the, looks like we've got a couple of Dodges out there, a Plymouth Duster maybe in one. Chevrolet Laguna in lane 1. Big set of mud flaps on that. Must have stolen from the back of a semi. Gets a nice launch too on 0.64 against a 2.26. Then runs through the other end. Gets a good half track. Runs through the other end there on a 12.40 at 106 and a 14.0 at a 97 mile an hour for lanes 2.
Hey, really quick before we get to see the Doxy Flyer go down the racetrack. I like Doxies. I have one. Folks, just a quick note. We do need, this is a round 1 elimination call for the bad asphalt bracket bash. Bring them down to 1 and 2. What's going to happen next is after we get done running a Hot Rod 2 out of here, we will then go into a little bit of track prep. Our AA gassers for their second qualified, then round number 1 of the bad asphalt bracket bash. So bad asphalt bracket bash, bring them on down, start them in 1 and 2. At this time, we need you to the staging lanes. Bad asphalt bracket bash, start them out in 1 and 2, 3 and 4 is necessary. Again, the run order is going to be, after we get done with finishing up Hot Rod 2 here, we're going to go into a little bit of a track prep mode then into AA gassers for their second qualifier, and then round one of Badass Bracket Bash. And back to you, Alan.
Thanks, Ronnie. Good on you, mate. Where are we? We are at Dragway 42, ladies and gentlemen, and we are live streaming through CKIW Radio 76 out of Detroit, Michigan. And we have Red Frogs. Back down on the track there, we got ourselves a nice little Chevrolet down there. A couple of satin-coloured ones, or the one in lane 2 looking a little bit skewy, pointing towards the centre of the track. We'll see how he goes on straighten up. All red lights. Straightens it nicely. Green light there in lane 1. An 072 in lane 1. Unfortunately, the red light just a little bit too quick, an 05. Runs through in a 12.0. At 112, and lane 1 will go through on a 15.8 at 83 miles an hour. So a little bit better for lane 1. Nice little yellow Chevrolet down there in lane 1, and another Plymouth down in lane 2, the purple Plymouth. There they go, the boys down on the track, just servicing that track again, doing a magnificent job, just looking out at any time just to get the rubbish off the track to give them the best possible track possible. So thanks to our start line crew. You've been magnificent all weekend. Badass Bracket Bash, lanes 1 and 2, please. Badass Bracket Bash, lanes 1 and 2, please. Badass Bracket Bash, lanes 1 and 2. That's a mouthful. Do that with a mouthful of bloody Red Frogs. G'day, Michael Fowler in Wyala. How are you, mate? Hope you're doing well. And Paul and Jane Hornsby out of Adelaide. Hope you're doing well too. A few names popping up on our feed here from all over Australia. And Anne Mandel Jorgensen out of Denmark's popped in to say g'day too. Adele McDonald and a crew from Santa Pod have dropped into CKIW to say g'day too. So we are worldwide at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. We've got people watching us from Santa Pod. We've got people watching us all throughout Australia, and we've got our beautiful Anne Mandel Jorgensen out of Denmark watching too. So the rock and race, ladies and gentlemen, is going worldwide. So look over towards the tower and give us a wave to all our friends around the world. If you wouldn't mind, just all standing up, looking over towards the tower and giving us a big wave. Thank you. There's a few over there on the right. No one on the left wanted to wave. What's wrong with you people over on the left? Come on, look over the tower, big wave. Look at that. People over on my right doing a fantastic job. People on the other side. Come on. Right, the boys have done their work on the track. We're back out and racing, so we've got a Pontiac, or no, it's a Camaro. Look at the taillights, Al. And then we've got a Plymouth out there in lane 2. There goes the tree, and away we go. Nice little launch there from the Plymouth in lane 1. Nice straight launch down the track there. Good reaction to an 086, a 435 for lane 1. And runs through the traps at the other end there at 106 mile an hour and a 1277 for lane 2. And lane 1 goes through on a 15.5 at 91 miles an hour. Must thank all our vendors up on the hill there doing a tremendous job feeding our masses, doing a terrific job. And must thank all our sponsors too, the Bad Boy Mowers over there, the big orange dogs. They've been quite tame all weekend, those dogs. Obviously enjoying. I haven't heard them bark once, but they're obviously enjoying the drag racing. the beautiful greens here at Dragway 42, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this, a 0045 on a reaction, a 1157. And he goes through there on an 1102 at 121 miles an hour and a 16.2 at 71 miles an hour in lane 2. Right, we've got, looks like this might be, no, this is not Bam Bam. This is another one of the satin black Chevrolet Novas. Thank you to the Badass Bash boys for getting into lanes 1 and 2 quickly. Thank you very much. That was really quick action. We appreciate that for getting down here when asked. We say jump and you're saying how high, and that's fantastic. Thank you very, very much, drivers, for getting into the lanes for us. We've got our AA gases over there. Speaking of AA gases yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, one of them went down the track, 131 mile an hour pass to the 8th mile, and decided then he would do a 360 on the track. Then came out of the 360, wheeled the car around and drove it off the track at the other end. Didn't realise till he got it off the track the damage had been done. And I spoke with Donnie Moyer this morning, and apparently the car was a little bit more damaged than first thought. There was some suspension damage and wheel damage and everything. So the boys have packed that up and they're taken home and they'll do the repairs. But the beauty about it, the EMS boys got there, went around, checked the driver. He was okay because the EMS boys were back within about 3 minutes into their position. So that was good news about it. And apparently, ladies and gentlemen, you can see me now, you poor devils. Kids, hide your kids' eyes so they can't see the man on the microphone. Bit of track maintenance going on at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Just looking over into the lanes there. You'll see we've got the Badass Bash bracket coming in. And right over in lane 6, you'll see the AA gas cars out there. These are older style cars. I can see a couple of Willies, Henry J and Austin, another Willys, a little Anglia over there. The fantastic looking cars, these, they are supercharged engines. They run from anything from a 354 Hemi up to a 427 cubic inch big block Chevrolet. All supercharged, all bullet quick, and all short wheelbase little hot rods too. The Anglia looks fantastic at the back of the line there. Then you've got the 33 Willys just looking down there. The couple of little Austins, the Henry J, the black satin Henry J, the Punisher. Yeah, unfortunately, one of the cars yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, has gone home. It's punched itself in the nose and did a little bit of damage to it. So that was the little 35 Willys Coupe called Ruckus, unfortunately. But unfortunately for the car, but the beauty about it too is the driver is okay. We've got our bands coming on very soon, ladies and gentlemen, in about an hour and a half. Our first band for Saturday today is the Ted Reiser band coming on at 1 o'clock. Then JJ Vickers band coming on at 3 o'clock. Aaron Jones and the Cool Cats at 4 o'clock. The Low Life Drifters at 6:30. And Dirty Deeds coming on at 8 o'clock. And Shame coming on at 10 o'clock. And to all those who were here last night and enjoyed the bands right up, Festus went till 2 o'clock this morning. They went above their means and did a fantastic job. The reason they kept going is they kept going because everyone wanted them. Ronnie.
Does Australia have the ABC? Okay, so forget about those Fox people. Then who do they have for broadcasting networks in Australia? We have Channel 7, Channel 9, Channel 10. They have no
Okay, a little bit of track maintenance going on here, ladies and gentlemen. Just about finishes. The tractor's going to do maybe another lap. He's going out wide to see if he can spin it around. Going down again.
So what we did was we made sure that we set up Australian broadcasting license. Who knows if somebody's got a million first. Oh well, bummer. It's kind of the part of being our pal. We get to promote you. There we go.
Bracket bash, please. Bracket bash. Can you go to 1 and 2, please? Bracket bash.
Is that all the way?
Please
Is that
go
the
to 1
bracket
and 2,
bash?
please. Bracket bash 2, 1 and 2. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, ball
No,
boys.
can you move that camera slightly towards? Turn it this way. This small one. Because we're opposite of everything that we're doing. All right, try the other way. Okay, good stuff. Thanks.
And all through and everything. We are live streaming through CKIW Radio 76 out of Detroit with John Sarver and Sue Martin here with us from CKIW Radio 76. And we are live streaming worldwide. So if you've got some friends who aren't here today and they'd like to watch the drag racing and unfortunately listen to me, you can go on to the Facebook page of CKIW Radio 76 and they have a link there that you can just punch on the link. It'll go via your Facebook page into YouTube and everything, and you can watch it there. So if you can even watch it out on the hill if you are here and like to see what we're doing and saying and everything like that, which is not much to what you're hearing and seeing and saying now. But any of your friends at home or around the world, anywhere you like to send them a text, give them the link, and they can watch what we're doing at Dragway 42 because we're here having a good time like you are out on the hill. But we want to enjoy, we want all your friends to enjoy the good time that we're having too. So they can get onto CKIW Radio 76 out of Detroit and enjoy the show with us. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's your attendance. I love it when people come up here and just looking over towards the Larry Dixon pit now, ladies and gentlemen, I can see the nitro fumes coming out of that pit. So they have got the car running. They've gone all through their pre-checks and everything with the fuel engines. And you will see Larry Dixon coming out within probably around about 1 o'clock this afternoon to do his first pass. And what it is, ladies and gentlemen, it is a top fuel car with 2 seats in it, one behind the other. Larry Dixon, a ex-top fuel American champion, has still would still drive Top Fuel now. He's driving this car. It's a promotion. It is one of the best promotions for drag racing ever. You can go and see Larry and his crew and book yourself in for a seat and learn what they want, learn what they do. You've just heard a quick blast in on these cars. We had him out here yesterday, did a 231 mile an hour pass. He only runs the 8th mile with a passenger in it for insurance reasons, but he did 231 mile an hour to the 8th mile yesterday, so it gives an indication if he had kept the hammer down, he would have been well over the 300 mile an hour mark by the time he went through the quarter. So the power of these cars, they go from 0 to 300 plus mile an hour over a quarter mile. They develop up to 11,000 plus horsepower. They run on nitro, alcohol, you name it. I reckon if you put a cup of tea on it, it'd run in that too. They burn fuel like you wouldn't believe at night. They look tremendous with the candles burning. It's like two gentlemen standing on top of an engine pouring 20 gallons of juice in at each time. The amount of fuel these cars burn. They can burn anything up to, what is it, about 60 to 70 gallons in a pass. So that's in burnout included. They're an amazing machine. The temperature coming out of the spark plugs is like an arc welding rod or a carbon arc light. They can burn the bottom off spark plugs quite easily, and when they get them back into their pit, they rip the supercharger off it. They take the heads off it, they take the sump off it, and they start making sure that everything's okay. The clutch plates come out. They do everything because when you imagine a car going from 0 to 300 mile an hour and the pressure put on those parts and everything is just astronomical. Plus, it's got a fuel that just explodes everything. And we're talking here that each cylinder out of 8's running up to around about 11 to 1,200 horsepower per cylinder. If they developed up to 11 to 12,000 horsepower, that's what you've got to look at. It's over 11 to 1,200 horsepower per cylinder. I can see my beautiful cat. Hi, Allie. Hey, babe. And there's my little brother down there, Mike Costick, from my brother from another mother. And his lovely lady down there, Allie. And there's Crystal there too. G'day, Crystal. How are you, honey? And my beautiful Claire. My family from America and my beautiful lady from Australia down there near the burnout box having a look here. Claire's first time over here to Dragway 42 with me, but I think if you look hard, you probably see the footsteps everywhere of the Costick family around this place out of Ohio. Beautiful people and very, very welcome. We've just sat down and all we've done since we've been here with the Costicks and the Kennedys is laugh.
The online Westpac Home Loan Refinance Company.
Don't listen to these ads, ladies and gentlemen. This is my Spotify, and it's putting all Australian ads on. So if you're talking about what the hell's Westpac, it's a bank.
Take control of their finances and plan your next step with a cup of tea and...
Right. Tech closes in 15 minutes, please. Tech closes in 15 minutes. TECH. Tech closes in 15 minutes, please. Tech closes in 15 minutes. Thank you, drivers. Thank you, riders.
Mobile phone and signal detection cameras are now operating right across Victoria, and they don't see a thing. So if you or your passenger aren't wearing seatbelts or aren't wearing them correctly, tough penalties now apply. These include a $385 fine and 3 demerit points. You could even lose your license. So, is it worth it? Phone down. Buckle up. A message from the TAC.
Pretty fiddler here. For many people, getting out of bed early can be a real challenge. To make
like every morning, a good morning. You first need to know how to sleep well. So start learning with a free sleep assessment at resmed.com.au.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We've got our AA gas cars here at the moment. We've got car 825 down there at the moment. And the 825 car is a Lazarus 40 model Willys. At the Hot Rod Barn down there, there's a car that'll come into lane 2. It's a Willys Coupe Deluxe. It's an all-steel car. It's owned and built by John and Roz Faust, driven by John Faust. The crew, Roz and John Faust Jr. It runs a 490 cubic inch big block Chevrolet, and they are from Valant in Pennsylvania. Car 1185 down there is the Kirker Brothers Racing. And it's called the Bean Toad on the back. Very clever. It is a little 1948 Oscar running a small block Chevrolet. Nice couple of lines of licorice going down the track there. He's burnt a nice line in for him, so they'll try and get him back in a lot of those stickies there for a launch. But the Kirker Brothers car is a small block Chevrolet, and it is driven by Randy Kirker, owned and tuned by Ron and Randy Kirker. This is a new build for the car and the AAGS class. So great to see another car coming into this class, and I love the old shapes of the cars they are building them into. The Bash cars, you are all in the lanes where we are. Thank you very much. Just watching these two little cars back up. Cross arms there for the Willys. Cross arms there for the little Austin. Just bringing the cars up now in the stage. Full pre-stage. You'll see the lights come on at the top of the tree. Both cars in pre-stage now. Full stage now for lane 2. Full stage lane 1. Pro tree and off they go. Oh, look at this. Willie's getting close to the centre line, but he's keeping it straight and goes through nicely too. Runs through on a 5:49 in lane 2 at 123 mile an hour and a 5:83 at 124 mile an hour for the Kirker brothers. So good pass there for both cars. We've got the Punisher now, which is the little Henry J. And the 1930 Willys model, it's a 1933. This is the caged heat model, I think it is. His car 222 is Ronnie D'Alessandro running. He's out of the 37 Willys. And the little Henry J, the Punisher, it's a satin black car. Good burn on both cars there. Get plenty of heat into the tyres. The Punisher is a little Henry J, ladies and gentlemen. It's owned by Grant Kimber, driven by Andrew Kimber. It's running a big block Chevrolet, and they are from Nobleton in Ontario, Canada. So welcome down south to our friends from Canada. And a nice little 37 Willys in front of us, ladies and gentlemen. A little green machine in lane 1. Ronnie D'Alessandro driving that carriage out of West Seneca out of Nevada. And it's a 37 Willys. By memory, I think this car's running a 354 big small block Hemi. Here we go. Oh, red light for the Punisher. The washing came out early on the Henry J before he went over the line there, but 139 mile an hour pass on a 505 for the Ronnie D'Alessandro car. And the Punisher goes short 113 mile an hour, but he had his chute starting to flare before he even went through it. Now we've got the little Showtime Anglia. It's a 1948 Anglia. It's crazy angle. It's a 49 Anglia running a 427 cubic inch big block Chevrolet. It's owned and driven and tuned by Brian Spots. Gets a nice burn. Very patriotic there, running the American flag for all and running the blue flag, the blue stars and stripes for the police force. So all the way a policeman around America and around the world, we do love and respect you. Unfortunately, people on YouTube and on Facebook are the clowns that don't, but there is more people in this world who respect the policeman than some of the minority imbeciles. So thank you for your service, policeman. Thank you for your service for all the veterans too. There we go. A couple of flags coming out there, the blue line and the stars and stripes, blue stars and stripes and the stars and stripes of America. Great to see patriotic flags. Brian Spots out there in lane 1. He'll do a solo pass here. He's out of Polk, Ohio. Oh, White rises up on the tyres a little bit. Still gets a good run there on a 128 reaction. Runs through on a 5-1 at 141 mile an hour. Right, we are going into Nostalgia Gas now, I think it is. Are we? No, where are we? Oh, no, we're going into our bash cars now. Carpenter Custom Trucks are our major sponsor. Anything on Wheels Customs LLC. Lamar Walden Automotive. Murphy's Motor Service. 409 American Muscle Classic Auto Parts. American Impala Association. And Fugate Freight LLC. We must thank them there for the 409 class. Thank you very much, our sponsors there. The muscle cars are Bubba Rafferty and his crew at 501 Perfect Converters. Front engine open dragsters are the Exchange Music. Thank you to JP Douglas there. JP will be back today for another chat. Nostalgia Gas is through Gas and Madness. AA Gas is through Gas and Madness too. Wheel stands are through WAC Customs. Bad As Asphalt is through Keeling Equipment and Repair. Harlan Sharp, who are the best rockers on the face of the planet. Big 3 Racing. Mark Cook from Badman Racing. Motorsports Unlimited Parts Distributor, and the Kudra Coalition of Ultimate Drag Racers Association through the Kennedy family, Kenny and the lovely Denise. And the car show is on the IX piston-powered Cleveland Autorama and the Slick Devils, Dragway 42, the Bad Boy Mowers. That is our big orange dogs around the circuit here. And Johnny K's Motorsport. The Rock and Race, Merchants of Speed, North American Gases, Gasser Magazine, BME Photography, Gellner Engineering for the AAGS gases, Cruising Time, CKI Radio 76, CKIW Radio. John Sarver and his crew from Detroit. We'll get it. I'll get it right. CKIWI Radio 76 out of Detroit. Thank you, Alan. Speed Culture, Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I've just buggered up one of our sponsors here, but I'm fixing it up now. Big thanks to the Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. We did the gamblers yesterday, and thanks to all the competitors and the gamblers, we raised a bit of coin yesterday. child cancer research. So thank you to everyone who put in for that. The Hood Rats and Jones Rental Inc. Thank you to all those people who have jumped on board here with Don Moyer and the Matcham family here at Dragway 42 to present the Rock and Race for this weekend and have all us lovely people over here from Australia and around America. And now through CKIW Radio 76 out of Detroit with John Sava and Sue Martin and the crew there. We are worldwide at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. We've got our friends calling in from Denmark, Santa Pod, throughout Australia, and it's fantastic to see. So just looking down, we will probably get some hello calls from inside America here very, very soon. Wild Bill in Montana, a good friend of mine who's followed us for many, many years. Exhibition cars, please. Lane 5. Exhibition cars coming to lane 5, please. Exhibition cars into lane 5, please. Exhibition cars, lane 5, please. Dylan Janu now, he's out of Madison, Ohio. He's in the 67 Satellite down there against the Chevrolet Malibu in lane 2. Got Sean Bamilla down there in the little roadster behind him. Little Plymouth Roadster. Oh, red light for the Chevrolet in lane 2. Doesn't seem to be getting away nicely, but we're looking at Dylan Janu gets away nicely on an 025. Unfortunately, it was a red light as well, but still goes through over on a 650 at 104. Donnie Hanchu down there in the little Gremlin. He is in lane 1. And Sean Bamilla, he's in lane 2. They are from the Windy Hollow Garage, and they do shows on YouTube as well. Don't forget our bands, ladies and gentlemen. The bands will start at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and we will have at 1 o'clock the first band up is the Ted Reiser Band at 1 o'clock, JJ Vickers at 3 o'clock, Aaron Jones and the Cool Cats at 4, Low Life Trips at 6:30, 8 o'clock will be Dirty Deeds, and 10 will be Shame. Just remember to our Blitz Bash cars, the bracket bash for the badass, there is no buyback. There is no buyback bracket bash, no buyback. This is your first round of elimination. Right, both cars, a couple of Plymouths down there in lane 1 and 2, just watching the lights now. There it goes, the tree. Oh, red light for lane 1. Unfortunately, lane 2 gets a nice launch. Both cars side by side down the track here. An 035 reaction time in lane 1 crosses over at a 6:57 and 104. Now, the bracket bash only are running 8th mile, and there is no buyback. Just watching the two Plymouths down there. No, that looks like it might be Bam Bam down there. Yes, it is. Bam Bam out of Cleveland, running the 72 Chevy Nova in lane 2. Wheels up both cars. Gets a good run there for Bam Bam. He is one of our police officers too, so well done there, Lenny Hartman. Bam Bam. You cross the line there at 106 miles an hour on a 641 and a 655 at 105 mile an hour. Billy Curtis coming up out of Stanley, New York. He's in the little 1957 Ford Anglia. It is the clown car. I love that little car. That looks fantastic. That beautiful really metallic gold coming out of it. Looks like it could be the old Wildfire Super X type of paint job on it, with the red lines going through it. The roll, little wheelie bars out the back. Up he gets, off he goes, and he's raging up against the Dodge Dart in lane 2. Unfortunately for Billy Curtis, he gets the angle of a red light that goes through the other end there on a 660 to 102 and a 666, the devil's number, on 108 mile an hour there for Timmy Diss in the green machine. Right, next pairing, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Timmy Diss Jr. and Tom Mullen Jr. out here. Timmy's out there in the Chevrolet Camaro in lane 1 and the 1965 Malibu, Chevrolet Malibu for Tommy Mullen Jr. Oh, something went wrong there. Yes, something has gone wrong. We've got a tail shaft flying underneath that car. But Johnny Mullen goes down there and gets away nicely. He goes down there on a 720 at a 77 mile an hour mark. So the Camaro, unfortunately, a bit hard on the tail shaft there, and you'll see the car's broken tail shaft there dragging. They can be a dangerous thing, certainly if they broke the front yoke and the tail shaft spinning because the back wheel's moving forward and it digs in. It can roll the car over. But the beauty about it, it didn't do it today. The Cripes Almighty car down there sat down there for a while. Gentleman is just going to back it up his trailer and put it away. Unfortunately, they haven't got the parts to fix this car, which is a real shame. Hate seeing cars not being able to play the game while they're out of track. Hopefully, nothing too dramatic wrong with the Camaro. The Tim Diss car down here in front of us. Hopefully, they will have parts and be able to get the Camaro back out on the road and do a little bit more racing this afternoon. Exhibition cars into 5, please. Exhibition cars into 5, please. Exhibition cars, you on lane 5, please. Exhibition cars into lane 5. Right, little Chevrolet Nova starting up again, ladies and gentlemen. He's just going to roll himself back into the water, get a little bit of slick on the tyres. And the little AMC Gremlin coming into lane 1. They're a wild-looking little car, aren't they? Nice little square nose. I think that was the car from Wayne's World. No, they are a little bit. I stand corrected if I'm wrong. I don't think it was a Gremlin in the Wayne's World with Mike Myers and Dana Carvey, but very similar body shape. Rolling the cars around, getting them up in towards stage now, the little Gremlin. And the Chevrolet Nova coming up into lane 2, looking good for their lights now. Full stage lane 1, full stage lanes 2. Here we go. Both got a clean green light, and off they go. The Nova just a nose in front. They get half track. I tell you what, this is getting even, Stevens. This is going to be a close one. And the win goes to lane 2 there, a 673 at 98 miles an hour on the 8th mile. Now we've got a beautiful Pontiac up against the Dodge Dart, Dodge Phoenix. Pontiac GTO, or is it a Le Mans? It's lovely anyway. Both cars lining up now. Pre-stage, both cars, full stage lane 1, full stage lane 2. Oh, red light, unfortunately, for the Dodge in lane 1, so the Pontiac gets an even run on this one. He will go through and takes it through on a 690 at a 99 mile an hour pass against a 698 at 97 mile an hour pass. So great car, great pass then. Unfortunately, a red light for lane 1. We've got Paul Regini here in lane 1 in the Pontiac in lane 1 in the 70 Chevy Nova. We've got Robbie LaRocco in lane 2, 1970 model Chevrolet Nova. Both cars getting up towards their dial-in now. Dial-in is a 595 against a 564. So there's really nothing in this. There's 0.3 of a second in this, so not even a light. Oh, red light there, unfortunately, for LaRocco in lane 2. So Regini, he will take that win. Goes through the other end on a 596, on a 595 dial in at 111 mile an hour. Next pairing is Jay Rust. He's out of running a 1955 Chevrolet. And Dan LaRocca out of Strongsville, Ohio. He is running a 1969 Chevrolet Camaro. So Rowan Hudson, here's the evil twin to yours, mate. Big hello to Ricky Glass and Graham Cooper, a couple of legends out of Australia who checked in. Ricky Glass out of Tamworth in the middle of Australia, New South Wales. And Graham Cooper, the bricklayer, one of our legends of Australian drag racing and motorsport, has finished racing. His car will go to a drag racing museum in Australia, and he will still keep in the sport. He'll be driving a pro stocker for some friends. But Graham, I think this is right. Your Christmas tree, we have Christmas trees where you have the man standing beside the tyre. Graham has 47 Christmas trees, gold Christmas trees and silver Christmas trees. So he's been racing over 40 odd years. I first saw him at Calder Park in the 1970s in the bricklayer, which is the 1964 EH Holden station wagon running a 427 cubic inch Chevrolet in it. And the brickie is putting the brickie into a museum. Here we go. Nice launch there on a 625 dial in, but the black Chevrolet. Oh, look at this. The Dan LaRocca takes a win out there. Red light for Jay Rust in the 55. So 631 at 108 there, but Jay Rust goes for on a 5.5 at 123 with a red light. Next pairing is Darryl McDonald and this beautiful little black machine down there, black Pontiac, and Wanda Johnson down there in the tickled pink. Her dial-in is the 600 against the 623 of Darryl McDonald's car in lane 1. Oh, both cars, good launch. Look at this, equally good launch for each car. Throwing around now, I think Wanda may take that. Yes, she does. She runs a 602 at 114. She's out of Bear Lake, Pennsylvania, and does a good pass there. Darryl out of Grafton, Ohio. He gets a 624 on a 623 at 108 mile an hour. Well done, Darryl. Kurt Richard at the moment, and Rick Skaggs. Rick's in the Mustang, and Kirk is down there in the Mercury Comet. Good pass, this one. I'll tell you what, took it right down to the wire. Kurt Richron went down beautifully there, ran a 6-1 on a 613 and a 610, and goes through at 107 miles an hour. Takes a good win on against the 566, who runs a 566.97. So that's really hard. But look at this, the win goes to Kurt in that beautiful Comet. He gets a 148 reaction against a 187 reaction. That's what the difference was. A 0.38. A 0.39 reaction was your difference. Next pairing going down here, 678, red light, unfortunately, for lane 2. So Steve Obertranick, he takes the win away in the little AMC Gremlin and runs a 659 on a 659 dial in at 101 miles an hour. Ed Wood, unfortunately, red lights on a 681 pass at 100 mile an hour. Aaron Adnick coming up now. Aaron out there in the Little Vega. Can we have open car, please, into lane 1, please. Open car into lane 1, please. Righto, Aaron Adnick has gone through there on an 806 or 78 mile an hour. Now we've got Ray Tunbury and Steve Tchaikovsky. Steve out there in the 66 Chevrolet against the 68 Chevrolet. Oh, wheels up there for lane 1 on both getting a green launch. An 002 on a reaction, and he goes through and takes a win there in lane 2, a 679 at 95 mile an hour for Steve Tchaikovsky. Next pairing, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Walker out there in this beautiful, absolutely stunning looking 72 Chevelle, and he's up against Scotty Haas out of Ohio. He's running a 79 Malibu. But look at that green machine down there, Mike Walker's. What a gorgeous looking car. Just purges the system, a little bit of laughing gas out of it. Both cars, 564 for Mike Walker. That's his dial in, 621, so he's going to have to hang around for half a second. Does it nicely. Both get green lights, an 036 against an 077. Can Mike chase him down? And the win goes to lane 2 to Scotty Haas. 623 at 111 mile an hour. So great pass, unfortunately, for Mike. He dials a 560, runs a 563, and a breakout by 0.00007. Nova. Both cars get away. Unfortunately, red light there for Billy Salmons, but Dave Henry. Here goes the tree. The handicaps. Red light. So Tony Martinez will take that win and the chalk raffle home on that one. Josh Simon coming out now, and he is in out of the Wellington, Ohio, in the Camaro, and he's running up against Ricky Kostick. Rick, one of my good mates over here, one of my brothers from another mother. He's running the beautiful 62 Chevy Biscayne called Past Tense. Now, this is a unique car. Go and have a look at this car in Ricky's pits. Ask him all the questions you like, but have a look at the front of the car and see if you can see what's the unique part about this car. They both get away nicely. A 004 reaction from Rick Kostick, and he's growing legs. Ricky, baby, go, son. And he does it. Look at this. Ricky Kostick runs through on a 631 at 108 mile an hour on a 630 reaction. 630 dialing. So well done, Rick Kostick, up against Josh Simon. So Ricky takes a win. You star, you superstar, you Ricky, babe. Next pairing is Anthony Mosley. Anthony running in the 1978 Chevy Malibu. He is dialed into the 575. I must meet Anthony a little bit later. Kenny Fever, he is in the 74 Pontiac GDO, the GOAT, and he's dialed into the 681. Wheels up on that. Anthony Mosley gets away. Anthony, 575 on his dial and runs a 579, takes a nice winner at 116 mile an hour. Well done, Anthony Mosley. Commiserations to Ken Fever. Open cars in the lane 1, please. Open cars, lane 1. Open cars, lane 1. Open cars, lane 1, please. Open cars, lane 1, please. Right, we got the Chevrolet in lane 2. Is dialed into the 600 and a 674 for the Mustang in lane 1. Oh, nice launch for the Mustang. Gets away in a 126. Red light for lane 2, unfortunately, for the Chevrolet, but just looking down that Chevrolet, no, he's okay. It looked like the bonnet, the boot lid might have popped up, but it didn't there. The win goes to the white Nova in lane 1 on a 678 at 100 mile an hour on a 674 dial. In next pairing, Alan Cox out of Marion, Ohio, and the Plymouth Satellite has dialed in a 675 in lane 2. Lane 1 in the Nova wagon has dialed in at a 685. So this is almost heads up. Best reaction time there is a 008 for lane 1. That'll keep him in good stead. And the win goes to lane 1, a 680 on a 685, 686 on a 685. Dial in at 96 miles an hour, a 674 on a 675. So there was a breakout there for lane 2, Alan Cox. Unfortunately, a breakout by 0035 thousandths of a second. Open cars in a lane 1. Thank you. Thank you. Chevrolet Corvette in lane 2 as a dial in of a 620. Rick Rondi out of in the Belvedere in lane 1 out of Galloway, Ohio. He has dialed in at a 605. So not much in this, ladies and gentlemen. You won't even see the difference on the tree unless you've got calibrated eyeballs. Here we go. Good launch, both cars. The best launch was a 015 for lane 1 in the Belvedere, Rick Rondi. And he takes a win purely and simply because of the best reaction time. Dials a 601, runs a 605, and the dial in for a 620, runs a 618. So unfortunately, the Corvette under his dial in and breaks out. Mike Matty coming up now. He's in the 62 Impala running up against Johnny Janu. Johnny out there in the Plymouth in lane 2. Lane 1, his dial is a 649 against the 800 of Mike Matty. So he'll get away. Both cars launched nicely. A good reaction there. Very good reaction for both cars. An 014. The win goes to John Janu. An 014 reaction. He takes a 652 on a 649 dial at 98 miles an hour. And Mike Matty, unfortunately, runs an 808 on an 800 dial at 83 miles an hour. But the win was at the start of the show there. Just a quick request, please, to just check your tyres on your cars. You may be getting a little bit of dirt and mud off them just where you are parked. If you would mind, when you come out onto the hard stand area on your avenues, please just check your tyres just for dirt and everything like that. We're finding it is starting to drag out onto the track. Right, Brian Fugate, he's one of our Brian Fugate in lane 2 in the 63 Impala. Brian's he's out of Ridgeville, Ohio, and ran an 893, unfortunately red lit. So the win will go to lane 1. Dials a 679, runs a 678. He breaks out too, but the first mistake loses. So the red light loses, and lane 1 dials a 679, runs a 678.47, and breaks out. Open cars into lane 1. Open cars into lane 1. Thank you for your quick attendance. Sherman Crowder, ladies and gentlemen, the 71 Pontiac dials a 70, runs a 703 at 97 on a solo pass. Does it beautifully. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going into open car racing now. Look at these beautiful front engine drags are coming in, and the pants dropper. What a fabulous looking little car. And look at this, getting heat straight into the tyres. Instant spin straight away. Plenty of heat into the tyres. Drags it out for about 30 yards there. These beautiful front engine drags. And I tell you what, the body on that car looks fabulous the way he's done it. So looks like it might be a short wheelbase altered with a nice little Ford body on it too, purple in colour, sitting nice and low, so she sits fat and low. Exhibition cars, please. Exhibition cars. You're in lane 5, please. Exhibition cars in lane 5. Good launch, both cars there. Red light for lane 1, an 034 for lane 2. The washing comes out nicely on 159 mile an hour pass. Unfortunately, a red light, but 158 mile an hour pass in lane 2 takes the win on an 860. So well done. And that was Jason Barnes out of Willow Wick in Ohio, running a front engine dragster. Next pairing, we've got Wayne Steen in a 1940 Willys truck. Woohoo! Really putting in. And Johnny Molina, he's running the 58 Chevy Bel Air. Gets a little bit wild out there, trying to get a little bit of more heat into the tyres than the trunk lid, as you call it here. We call it a boot lid, acting as a windbreak for him or an air brake. And if we look down under the tower very soon, ladies and gentlemen, you will see our own promoter, Don Moyer, coming out in a Rebel Reap, and we'll see if Don can look over his shoulder and see the car parked behind him when he wheel stands his 41 Willys. Okay, let's see if Mike Molina can do this, and Wayne Stein in the little truck. Let's see how the wheels will come up. Up he goes. Look at this. Keeps it up there, keeps it down. Looking for a little bit of fun there. Great pass. Love it. 697, runs a 1071 at 130 mile an hour in the Chevrolet after putting on a wheel show at the start here. And Wayne Stein goes short of 10.6 at 125 mile an hour in the 40 Willys truck. Anthony Valentine now in the 1940 Willys, the little marshmallow with the Michelin Man on the back. He's out of Seymour Court in Connecticut. And Ed Richards, he's out of Cumberland, Massachusetts in a 1941 Willys coupe. Get your cameras out, ladies and gentlemen. These cars are going to be trying for wheel stands, as you saw. Mike Bellina in that beautiful 55. Anthony Valentine trying very hard in the little marshmallow, but it looks like Eddie Richards might be going to take this one out, and Ed does too. He runs the 13.1 at 98 mile an hour against the 13.7 at 103. Now we've got Todd Johnson out here in lane 2 in the wild one. Just getting a little bit of heat into the tyres there. Todd Johnson. And Stan Cowell in the 49 coupe in lane 2. Todd Johnson out of Bear Lake in Pennsylvania. He's up against Stan Cowell. Both cars get away. Going through the H-Fat, and he's Todd Johnson. He's got a 4-speed box in that one. A Tech 10. And he runs through at a 1090 for Stanley Cowell out there in lane 2 at 118 and a 1392 at 103 for Todd Johnson. Here we go. Let's see how high. Let's see how high Don Moyer can get his Rebel Reaper. Now, this is our show promoter here. You may have seen Don on a promotion we did through CKIW Radio 76 out of Detroit earlier today. And Don was there with his rainbow-coloured Rock and Race T-shirt on and his plaid shorts. He's a classic. Come on, Donnie. Touch the bum. Touch the bum. Get those wheels up, mate. Touch the bum. Rolling it into everyone's bated breath. Here we go, Donnie. Give it heaps, son. Up he goes. Up a little bit. Well done, Don. Still gets away nicely. Hey, look at this. Another 222. He's going to be over the moon on that one. A 222 reaction. He runs through at 11:30 at 113 mile an hour. So we're doing a little bit of track maintenance now, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of track maintenance now might be a good thing. Go and grab yourself something to eat, something to drink, because when the tractor comes off the track, the top fuel will come on. So Larry Dixon will be coming out very soon. So grab yourself something to eat, something to drink, because the next car we'll see going down the track should be Larry Dixon and his crew with the twin seat top fuel car. And he should be rolling that car down into the stage lanes very soon. By Huey Piano Smith. Now rack your brains. Think. Which song that they used in one of his movies? Have a think for yourself, and we'll come back and we'll compare notes and see if you can work out which movie that this song, don't you just know it came out of? in, the handsome, the debonair, the gorgeous guy himself, JP Douglas. How are you, JP?
Oh, I'm real good. How about you, Alan?
Good, thanks, mate. You're one of our sponsors this weekend. Welcome back to the microphone, mate.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's good to be a sponsor here for Rock and Race. We totally enjoy the show.
Come and sit on me knee, mate. Now, we got a camera here too, JP, so we're going
nice.
worldwide, mate, through
Cool.
CK Radio 76 out of Detroit. John Sarver and his crew. JP from the Music Exchange. Mate, how you going?
Oh, it's just, man, what a day yesterday. Hopefully the weather will hold out today. Cars have been awesome. Lots of gassers. Obviously, frontage and dragsters. We got Larry Dixon getting ready to do a run here, too, with his double-seater. It's just an incredible event. Just glad to be part of it.
Mate, I fell in love again today, and you probably will too when you see the Voodoo Child. It's a front engine dragster. Came out in the open car class. I think you'll probably find him up in the lines here. There it is, the Voodoo Child.
Oh, yep.
There, halfway up, mate. What an incredibly beautiful machine. If they go back to their trailer and it's not there, they can check my back pocket, I think.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many beautiful cars out here. A lot of talented builders. I mean, it's just unbelievable the amount of work that's gone into this, and including the event. Don Moyer's put on a great show, and it's like I said, we're the Exchange Music Store along with JP Douglas Music is proud to be a sponsor of it.
But you are a proud sponsor too. Look, your Music Exchange, JP Douglas Music Exchange and everything. We had a good chat about it yesterday. Mate, tell us what your business is all about. Give your business the best promotion possible. We're here.
It's a family-owned business. Actually, it's owned by a buddy of mine who started the business out in his garage 48 years ago, and built it up. And now there's 30 stores in 4 states, from Chicago, Indianapolis, the Cleveland area, Akron, Canton, Pittsburgh, and Erie. So it's just it's been. I've known him since 1989. When he saw me playing a band when I was playing at Gazzari's and on the Sunset Strip, liked the music I was doing and said, hey, let's put out a record and let's go on tour. So went on tour for 6 years and got done with that and moved here to Ohio and went on to some other things, but then got back into music again and put out 2 solo records myself, JP Douglas Music. Which you can find anywhere on Google or YouTube or any of the Spotify, Rumblefish stuff. And if you're looking for good music, we sell vinyl, CDs, DVD, games and stuff from Xboxes to PlayStations and everything else from new to used and whatever. So it's you can Google the Exchange Music Stores. And like I said, we have 30 locations in 4 states.
That's excellent, mate. 30 locations, 4 states. That's beautiful. Now, what's the image of the front of your buildings, etc., like that? How will people know you? Just by your name, by your badging?
There's actually we have a logo here. It's kind of just like an X, which represents the exchange. So there it is there. So that's the logo, and we also have the word exchange in front of the stores, and obviously they're all lit up in neon and stuff because we want to make a good presentation. And so I mean that's how we do. Actually, we don't do very much promotion. In fact, I'm really kind of like one of the only people that actually go out and promote for the exchange. And my friend, he's totally cool about it. He actually encourages me to go out and do as much as I can with it. So, and we do it all on our own dime and everything, and it's all fun, and we're having a great time with the event.
That's what it's all about, mate. And you're a Gasser fan yourself. You've said you've got a chassis at home and you've done a bit of design work for suspension for motorcycle and everything. We spoke yesterday and we gave you a due date to get your car ready. So did you go home and get the spanners out last night?
I didn't. It's about an hour and a half drive, so stayed locally. I got a 30.
We don't want any excuses, mate.
I know. I'm already falling a day behind, right? I've got a 35 Willis steel pickup. I've had it for years and years and just never really got to working on it. But I designed and built that chassis, and I have 2 mechanical engineering patents for a motorcycle suspension that I also did. So I need to really stop working on other people's stuff, and I really need to get into working on my own stuff.
Is it true that you and Elon Musk are going up in SpaceX together? Have you designed the craft itself?
Well, yeah, that would be definitely on the bucket list. I was a commercial pilot up until 2020 when COVID hit, and I haven't gone back into flying really since then. I've been trying to concentrate more on motorcycles and cars, and yeah, I'm just that's kind of where my passion is back into doing that again. Yeah.
That's good, mate. So you are going to go home and you are going to get the spanners out on the willies to get here for the rock and race next year?
I am definitely wanting to do that very, very much. Trust me, this is definitely given me the kick in the rear to get all the tools going and fire up the torch. It really doesn't need a lot of stuff, to be honest with you. I've already pre-bent the roll cage for it. I need to do some body work on it, but I am absolutely a dummy when it comes to wiring a vehicle or anything really. So I got to find a person who's good at wiring and wire the car up so we can wire it and fire it and drive it. You know.
That's a good idea. You get an expert to do it, mate, because the last thing you want is electrical fire.
Exactly, because then we'll have a big barbecue.
Because it's bloody embarrassing.
Yeah, then we'll have a big barbecue. And we don't want a barbecue on our car.
Big mistakes.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So so like I said, we got hooked up with this event last year. We did the best of show. And we're doing the best of show this year for the Exchange music stores. And then JP Douglas Music is sponsoring the open wheel class for the first time this year. And we're hoping that we have many, many years of doing this event because it is absolutely just an incredible event. We enjoy it.
It is, mate. It's a lot of fun. We're seeing the classic cars. I'm looking down at the opens at the moment. They are the most dangerous looking drag car, but they are a thing of beauty, aren't they?
Oh, they really are.
They look dangerous, but they're not. You look down there and you look into the cars and everything like that. You see the chassis, you see the cocoon that they sit in. They got the neck brace, the helmet, the boots, and everything like that. And the little sit behind front engine drags is they are the most uncomfortable thing to sit in. There's no room for an air conditioner in there, is there?
Not at all. I used to actually have one years ago. It was a shoot style pack body, and now I'm actually also putting, because I just like to have 9 projects going at once because I'm an idiot. But yeah, I'm also doing a competition coupe from a 35 Willis sedan that was cut in half. And I've bent all the tubing up for that. So I got the roll cage bent up for that. And I'm planning on running a big block Chevy in that with a glide. And I mean, like I said, it's just one thing after another with me.
You know what we've just done? We've gone right away from what the reason is you're being here. We're supposed to be talking about your business now, but we're going to our passion.
Oh, yeah. See how it is? See, it's
so,
easy.
Mate,
it is.
the business going?
So, yeah, the business is fine. The Exchange Music Store is doing great. I talked to my buddy yesterday about it, and he was glad that that I'm out here, and he was thankful for the interview, and he wanted to thank you, Alan. So I told him that I would tell you that when I saw. Sure, why not? Absolutely. I mean, we're going to be here all weekend. We're here to promote, and we're here to enjoy the racing with the fans, and and listen to some rock and roll. There were some great rock and roll bands that played yesterday. Yeah, see, that's even way past my bedtime because I'm old. So. Okay. Absolutely. I mean, you meet a lot of people here that you've never met before, and you make some new friendships, and that's what it's really about too. And there's the competitive side of it, and everybody wants to win. Of course, that's why we're out here racing. But also, we don't want to see anybody get hurt. We had a close call yesterday, and boy, I was so glad that the car didn't flip. And yes, sure, right, yeah, right. It's something that you would see like in NASCAR or possibly even in Formula One or IndyCar. That type of a spin. Danny Sullivan comes to mind when he did the spin and win back at Indianapolis. And when I saw that, I was so glad that car didn't flip over. And that, of course, there was a little damage, but nothing if it would have flipped.
One thing about drag racing, you do find just looking down at these open vehicles is the best way to look at what they are sitting in. Now, you look in the front engine dragster and the alternate at the front here.
Yes.
They are sitting in a cocoon of steel. They got the neck brace, they got the arm braces there like that to stop the arms flying out. Their legs are pretty much down a tunnel,
Yes.
and they have got all the safety equipment on. So if they unfortunately do happen to roll over or something like that, they've got a pretty strong cocoon now. It suffers damage, and that's what it's supposed to do, but the driver can get out. Excuse me 2 seconds. Righto. Mate, thanks for coming up once again. It's
Thank
been
you for
really
having me.
good, mate, and I'm looking forward to coming back and seeing you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be
Thanks,
here.
JP Douglas,
All right,
ladies and
thanks for
gentlemen, from the
having us.
Music Exchange. Give us a wave on the camera there. Good on you, buddy. Thank you, JP.
right,
Good
thank
on you,
you,
mate. We'll talk again tomorrow. JP Douglas, ladies and gentlemen, from the Music Exchange.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we want to thank everybody who's made their way to Rock and Race. We really appreciate everybody coming out here and hanging out with us this weekend. Right now, folks, once again, the face full of nitromethane getting ready to come at you. Want to thank everybody for coming out. But before we get started with Larry Dixon and the crew, we asked, we're going to play some anthems, national anthems for you, starting with the American national anthem. We have the Canadian national anthem, and of course, for our Australian friend, the Australian national anthem. So, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of our national anthems.
Larry backing it up. You'll see the crew taking a good look at the wheel marks as he's coming back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at Larry Dixon down here. He's got the dual seater top fuel car. We've got a problem. They've had to turn it off. They've turned the car off, ladies and gentlemen. Can we have Nostalgia Gas to 3 and 4, please? Nostalgia Gas to 3 and 4, please. Nostalgia Gas to 3 and 4, please. Just while we're getting Larry's car fixed up, he will get him back out again. So Nostalgia Gas to 3 and 4. Not sure what he has dropped there. It looks like it might be a little bit of fuel. Yeah, Nostalgia Gas down into 3 and 4, please. Nostalgia Gas into 3 and 4, please. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just while we've got a break in the proceedings, if we can have everyone standing and we'll do the Canadian National Anthem. Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We had the Canadian National Anthem and followed by my own personal national anthem, the Australian Golden Ostriches. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We are going back to drag racing now, ladies and gentlemen, and we have Nostalgia Gas rolling down into lanes 3 and 4. Thank you for being so prompt. I can see the cars rolling down now, and we will get back into a little bit of racing very, very soon. As soon as we get the boys are looking down there, things are looking good on the track. So Nostalgia Gas down into 3 and 4, please. Nostalgia Gas down into 3 and 4, please.
The next 30 minutes are ad-free, thanks to the following sponsor.
The next 30 minutes are ad-free in Spotify, but they've got to put on 4 ads, so we've had 3.
So again, we have called nostalgia gas to the lanes 3 and 4. We have open in lane 1 ready to come out. Opens ready to come out to the staging lanes. We've called nostalgia gas to 3 and 4. And let's see, that means on a short standby, 348, 409. You're on a short standby, our W motor 48, 409. Again, once again, thanks for everybody for coming out. Bad Boy Mowers got the big dogs up there. So, Alan, you get to come every year. You're enjoying this every year, aren't you?
Mate, I'm loving it. I really am. Thanks, Ronnie. Yeah, look, it's something I love doing. I've been a commentator now for 30 years and started out in powerboat racing. I'll give you a quick story. John knows his story. Nice little banter molded, getting a little bit of fun going there. So that's fantastic there. Little banter molded, love them. Now, about 30 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, coast of New South Wales into Australia, I was the president of the Manning River Aquatic Association, which runs the biggest powerboat race meeting in Australia. And we had a 3-day meeting, and on the third day, what happened was our announcer came to work, and he was a little bit elephant's trunk, and he started swearing on the microphone. So I went up and I addressed it, and he told me where I could go, and it wasn't somewhere nice. So I sacked him on the spot, and my race director said, well done, who's going to commentate? And as I knew all the drivers and all the boats and what gears and what engines they had in them, I picked up the microphone and just introduced them as they were coming out on for their heat. And it seemed to come natural to me. So I just commentated the rest of the day. The next thing I know, I'm commentating at a radio, at a motor show, then I'm commentating at speedboat racing, I'm commentating at rallies, and I'm commentating speedway. Boat racing, I'm commentating at rallies, and I'm commentating speedway. I've been doing MC work and everything like that, and it's just one of these things that came natural to me, and it is a lot of fun. And I've been doing drag racing throughout Australia for about the last 25 to 30 years, nearly 25, 28 years now. So that's where it came from, and it's just been a lot of fun doing it. And then I got invited over to here to do my commentary over here, and absolutely fell in love with the place, fell in love with the people, and fell in love with the sport. And I get to meet great people everywhere I go. Oh, look at this. And he's unfortunately red lit, and his washing's popped out a little bit too early. So won't be happy with that, but won't give him the best to run. So he'll get it back to the pits, ladies and gentlemen, find out what his problem was and get back into it. So that's unfortunate for a little banter motor, because that thing is a bullet. Now I've got a couple of front engine dragsters coming through. Absolutely stunning looking machines. Righto, we're back towards the racing here. Both little dragsters being rolled back into their lines. Gorgeous looking cars, these little front engine dragsters, as we were talking about before when I was talking to JP. You sit in a cocoon of steel, and the cage is designed to take all the damage before it gets to you if the car does unfortunately have an accident. But the beauty about it, you should be able to get out, and you might have a few bruises from their seatbelts grabbing you, but they're bruises you don't mind, because that means the seatbelt's done its job. Right, going through the, here we go, there goes the tree. Both get away nicely. Look at this. God, beautiful, beautiful launch for both cars here. Good reaction times too. And going through at 181 mile an hour in lane 2 on a 796 and a 960 at 133 mile an hour in lane one. Whoa, love that little Fiat Topolino, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this thing. This is a little bullet, this car. Love this car. It's an angry little devil. You don't realise, ladies and gentlemen, the violence inside the cabin of a car, inside the cockpit of a car. When you are accelerating, all it's trying to do is get going fast. And it'll do it by any means. You've got two big tyres behind it, grabbing and gripping and throwing and tossing everything to the point where you think this car's trying to throw me out. But the violence inside the cabin, you know, we might get there on the street or something like that and accelerate off quickly. I think that was good, but you get into a drag car and the adrenaline rush is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Excellent. CKIW Radio 76 out of Detroit, ladies and gentlemen. We've just clocked over 4,000 viewers. Oh, look at this little Topolino. Gets out there, gets up and boogies. And off he goes. Still holding it on, still going hard. The washing comes out nicely. And he goes through, ladies and gentlemen, on a 161 mile an hour pass on an 842 and a 126 mile an hour pass on a 927 for lane 2. Here we go, the Voodoo Child in lane 1. This is absolutely stunning, ladies and gentlemen. This is just absolutely porn on wheels, this car. And the little Bantam Altered in lane 2. Another gorgeous looking car. Very upright, right on top of the differential in this car, or just slightly back on top of the differential. But you do sit up high, but it's got a high cage in it. We're in the front engine dragster over there, the Voodoo Child in lane 1. You sit right behind the differential. Your backside is at the bottom of the differential, right beside it. So you're very lucky the differential has very solid plates around it in case something decide to let go in the diff housing or the axle housing. As you can see, he's sitting right behind it, so his legs are up over the differential housing and the axle housing onto the pedals. He's got a stick just in there for his gears and everything. But that is a gorgeous-looking car, that beautiful-looking car, the front engine drags to the Voodoo Child. Where the driver sits, you will be absolutely amazed. And they do it, and they love doing it. But please, if you do go into the pits, please ask. Please ask before you go further into the pits and just help yourself. Oh, the Bantam Altered gets a nice little sideways as he launches. But look at this. This is going to be quick. This will be a quick run for two of them. Yes, it is. An 860 in line 1 for the Voodoo Child, 161. And a 9120 for the Bantam in a 138 mile an hour pass. But that Voodoo Child, 161 mile an hour. Shoots trailing behind him as he drives off the track up into the recovery area. Another front engine drags against the little Altered there. The Altered getting a bit of heat into the tyres there. Look at the difference in the size of the wheels on the back of these cars. You've got a taller wheel on the Altered. Probably about just hard to gauge from here, but the Altered's probably around about 110 inches, 120 inches. And the you're probably looking at about 130 to 140 maybe for the little front engine dragster. Whereas Larry Dixon's car, is a little bit longer. It's probably over to the 300 inch, but Top Fuel cars are generally 300 inches for their wheelbase. Can we have 348 to 409s, please? 348 to 409s into 1 and 2, please. 348 to 409s, 1 and 2. Good launch, both cars. Had a little altered, really grabbed the ground and off he went, nearly rotated the earth. He hit it so hard. Goes through nicely too. Runs a 145 mile an hour on 878 and 926 at 139 mile an hour for lane 1. Can we have 348 409s to 1 and 2, please? 348 409s to 1 and 2, please. Car 348 to 409 into 1 and 2, please. Car 348 to 409 into 1 and 2, please. Thank you, drivers.
I'll be back.
Both cars get away nicely down the strip there. Good pass there for the little front engine Dragway. He runs an 852 at 153 mile an hour and a 1308 at 60 miles an hour in lane 2. So great pass there for both cars. We need 348s to 409 in 1 and 2, please. 3 cars. Cars for 348 to 409s, please. 348s to 409s in lanes 1 and 2, please. 348s to 409s in 1 and 2, please. Nice little launch there from the altered, gets away at 068 reaction, runs through the game at 127 mile an hour on a 10.62 ET. Next pairing, ladies and gentlemen, we've got 41 Willies in lane 2. Oh, wheels up at a lane 2. Car gets away nicely on a 128 reaction, a 172 for lane 1. And he's streaked the pack down the other end, goes through at 133 mile an hour on a 987. And 1133 at 123 miles an hour. Next pairing, beautiful little Chevrolet pickup and a 1955 Chevrolet car in lane 1. 348s to 409 in lanes 1 and 2, please. Next pair, all red light, unfortunately, for the Chevy in lane 1. But the truck gets away on a 259. Going pretty much even, Stephen, down the road there. The truck takes the win because of the red light. He runs through an 1160 at 110 mile an hour. And 1160 at 113 miles an hour. Next pairing, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the beautiful little Anglia, the little time and money car running up against it. Looks like that might be a little Plymouth or a Dodge. Gets a nice launch, red light, unfortunately, for the little Anglia in lane 1. But a little veer out to the right, but really gets going on a 248 reaction. Lane 2 getting a good pass there and going through at 115 mile an hour on 1157 and a 1370 at 78 mile an hour for lane 1. Next pairing, we've got the Hagen Speed Shop car there. Nishani Hagen down there. Good guy, lovely man. Had a chat with him and his wife yesterday and had a chat to him just at breakfast time again this morning. He was involved in a pretty serious incident here last year, but through his talent and quick thinking and everything, stopped something that could have been really bad. So great bloke there. And the Pontiac just gets away a little bit too quicker, but it gets away on a red light. So Dave Hagan, he's out of Nova in Ohio here, running the 66 Falcon. He goes through there at 11:59 at 111 mile an hour against a 10.58 at 124 on a red light. So well done, Dave Hagan. The S Series Valiant down there, the little beautiful little car. They were about a 1960-61 model. Very unique in their wing front, wings on the front and wings on the back. Really, gets a little bit wobbly on the start there, tries to attack the tree. Has a little bit of trouble too, keeping it straight down the road a bit, but I tell you what, he's been skated at the pack there. 121 mile an hour pass for lane 1 at the 10.71 and a 14.4 at 62 miles an hour. So he's pretty much idled out of the back of the strip there. Frozen in time, the little Falcon down there in lane 1. And the beautiful Studebaker, the bullet nose Studebaker in lane 2. Red light for Frozen in time. Gets a bad reaction there. But the Studebaker gets away on a 3:02 reaction. Goes through nicely. Takes the win, and he'll go through and take the win at a 12.71 at 106 mile an hour. And 11.71 at 107 mile an hour for lane 1 for Frozen in time. Next car is the little Prefect, the clown car, running against a little French Renault. I'd like to know in both these cars, it certainly wasn't the engine they came out of the showroom with. Billy Curtis down in the little 57 Ford Angry. A little clown car gets away. Both cars get a nice launch. The little Renault, an unusual car. I've never seen a Renault drag car before in my life. You see them here at the Nostalgia Rock and Race drag racing at Dragway 42. The Austin down there in lane 2 gets a good bit of heat into the tyres, and the 56 Chevrolet in lane 1. Nicely coloured there, the two-tone silver on the front guards there, then the flash changes into the green at the rear. It looks very, very smart. Nice colour coding there. And the Austin just with the straight grey gunmetal colour. Just watching the crewies bring the little Austin back in. Waves him away. Right, both cars coming up now. You'll see them getting into stage. Pre-stage now for lane 1. Pre-stage lane.